A team-building day of leisure activities was planned for the midweek break, starting with an escape room experience where, unfortunately, filming wasn't allowed. The groups were organised into teams and had to solve puzzles and riddles in order to escape the scenario as fast as possible.
Give all your ideas, solve it, and then move on to the next. Now, if the puzzle does not make sense, that's when you start looking around the room. Okay?
That was followed by an exhilarating and unforgettable 4x4 tour of the Arabian desert. And the evening was wrapped up with dinner and entertainment in what felt like an oasis in a sea of surrounding sand dunes. The following morning, while the players and crew were hard at work in preparation, the rest of the tour group, consisting of admin, sponsors, guests and supporters, got to enjoy some time out exploring the wonders that Dubai has to offer. Soon to be named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the traditional souk market district sits on either side of the Dubai Creek and played a vital role in sustaining the life of the community in the city. Merchant ships arrived here from East Asia, China, Sri Lanka and India to negotiate and barter their goods. This was the resource which originally drove the economic boom in Dubai, and now tourists and city dwellers alike can enjoy browsing the spice, gold and silk shops, or take a river taxi and explore the creek.
Big game for us. It'll be a hard game like Monday, but I think we should do alright.
Yeah? Okay, good luck. I'll do your check.
Boys are ready. They just need to switch on now.
Okay, it's simple, we take it to the middle, we get these big balls into the game and we just break them down slowly, okay? We dictate the game to them. That's the way we play rugby, isn't it? We dictate the game. We don't ever chase the game, we dictate the game.
I like to be for the scrum. I need to be happy that it's steady and straight and safe. Any problems at all in that, you shout me, I'll stop it.
Overpower and make this game hard. Let's control it. Big hard run, go together. Pack together. Okay, groups of three. Always groups of three. Do you just want to win? Yes! Want to win? Yes!
It was always going to be a tough evening for a young development squad, facing up to the best of the rest, as the UAE team manager stated before the game started. The Premiership Barbarians are made up of the best players from the UAE leagues who are not eligible to play for the UAE national side. And after the Barbarians kicked off, the physicality was soon obvious to everyone involved. After a number of intense initial phases, Gibraltar was awarded a scrum near the halfway line. Moving the ball wide from the base of the scrum, Harry Campbell-Lamerton was brought to the ground on the crash ball, but the tackler does not roll away. Penalty to the visitors and a chance to clear it out of their 22. The line-out was unfortunately lost and Gib was soon under pressure again. A move from down the near side wing had a Barbarian player over the line, but a last-ditch tackle causes him to drop the ball. A try-saver from Chris Griffin, and the pressure is off again. Not too long after, and the hosts were awarded a scrum due to a Gibraltar knock-on close to the 10-metre line. The home pack then began to turn the screw against their opposition, driving the scrum further into Gibraltar's half, shifting the backs to the far side to complete the try. The drop-kick conversion is short and wide. Barbarians 5, Gibraltar Development 15-0. The restart saw a knock-on by the Barbarians and a rapid collection by Mark Henwood. After an explosive run, the ball was unfortunately intercepted by an opponent. A number of scrums for both sides followed before an excellent move through the Barbarians' backs as they broke through the defence again. The offloading was Sevens-esque and the visiting defenders found it hard to close down. The ferocity and speed of the attack was too much for the development team and the Barbarians winger was soon in for his second try of the evening. The kick was good and Barbarians lead 12-0. The Barbarians, full of confidence now, went on to steer the game as they pleased. A number of tries for the home side occupied the half, with Gibraltar constantly on the back foot. A successful line-out won by Gibraltar went on to gain some decent distance. Unfortunately, after a promising run from Simon Adamson and a mishap in the ruck, the ball was turned over and the home side secured themselves another try and conversion. Several more successful offensive moves pushed the home side's points way ahead of the visitors. One final play before the break and the Barbarians send the ball out from a scrum, and yet again their 11-23 combo working for them. The conversion hits the crossbar and the half-time whistle goes. Dubai Premiership Barbarians 46, Gibraltar Development Squad 0.
Do a clean slate from now, okay? Let's play from the half. On Monday we came back into the game at the end of the match. Let's do the same now. Let's win the second half, okay? Let's keep that as our main priority.
No one has been putting a shift in. Nobody. Let's get over. Let's get some fixing, boys.
Listen, okay, like I said before, they're a good side. They're a good side, okay? We know they're a good side, but let's get some positives out of it, okay? Like everyone said, let's get a bit angry. Let's get a bit of aggression within ourselves, okay? Let's make this have a change. Let's see something different from someone.
The second half got off to a smooth start with some superb rugby from both sides. A huge tackle pushed Gibraltar further back and the Barbarians went around the side of the Ruck, resulting in a penalty to Gibraltar. The referee took the opportunity to speak to the home side captain after some back chat, and the penalty is advanced 10 metres. Gibraltar then set up for a line-out midway between the 5 and 22 metre lines. A successful line-out meant Iggy Cottrell pushed forward towards the 5 metre mark. Gibraltar then recycle with a few forwards phases before another high tackle is penalised. Time to tap and go. Chris Timmins is hit hard, but the ball comes out for Ziad as he also charges for a try. An intense few attacking phases from Gibraltar keep clawing at the line until a brazen Mark Henwood comes charging at high pace, only to be taken down by a huge hit and the ball is knocked on. A scrum follows, leading to a Barbarian line-out. The quick ball goes to hand and effortlessly down the line, and the Barbarian centre breaks and runs the length of the field to score. Conversion was on target and Gibraltar were down by 53-0. A number of exciting phases followed shortly after from Gibraltar, showing heart and determination, but unfortunately come to an end with a knock-on. The Barbarians clear with a kick from the resulting scrum, and Gibraltar are taking a line out on the halfway line. Barbarians turn it over and are into the Gibraltar half before Jake Julian ripped the ball and takes it back towards opposition territory. The ball was spun down the line and a pass from James Savignon doesn't go to hand and the ball is out of play. The assistant ref calls for a chat to the man with the whistle and the Barbarian is penalised for back-chatting, along with a yellow card. Gibraltar crash forward into the opposition 22 with a good carry from Chris Timmins. The Barbarians' 8 is then deemed to have taken a man out without the ball and is yellow carded, leaving the team down to 13. A good break from Iggy Cottrell offloads to Mark Henwood, who just can't collect. The ball is passed back to Simon Adamson, who makes a break of his own, but alas, the following phase is knocked on and Gibraltar defender scrum again. The ball is collected from the base of the scrum and the Barbarians break through, catching the Gibraltar defence off guard. The next phase sees them through the defensive line and sprinting away for another try. The kick is missed and the score moves to 58-0. Sensing an opportunity, Simon Adamson attempted to chip over the top but knocked it on trying to collect. The scrum is won and a controversial hard tackle from Mark Henwood caused a reaction from the crowd. Play continued but comes to an end on the far side. The referee then discusses with his assistant before Mark leaves the field. The tackle deemed dangerous and worthy of a yellow card. A great tackle and jackal from Iggy Cottrell won a penalty. The player then refuses to let go of the ball and Barbarians are marched back 10 more metres for the third time in the game. Nicky Timmins carries hard and is again stopped short. Gibraltar plays advantage as the Barbarians are offside again, just a few metres from the line. Several penalties later and Gibraltar are yet to break through. Finally, the ball is turned over, spun wide, and a missed tackle lets the Barbarians break through. Sam Julian puts the attack to an end with another great tackle, but Gib just can't turn the ball over. The play is pushed to the far side before a final knock-on and the referee calls the game to an end. An exhilarating finish which leaves the visitors close to a consolation, but so far away in the end. Final score, a 65-0 win to the Premiership Barbarians over the Gibraltar Select 15 development side.
Just for me, fellas, okay? The first half, we had our backs against the wall, but the second half, we couldn't fault you, fellas. Everything that we spoke about at half-time, you boys come out and did. And if only we could have that belief in ourselves in the first half, that scoreline would not be what it is. That fantastic work, all of you that were part of this squad, okay? You should be proud of how far you've come on this tour, okay? It's not the result that we wanted, but do you know what? I think I got more out of that game than any other game, so far, because it's actually a privilege to see you boys play the way you played, the way you conducted yourselves against a very, very, very good side. Impressed, okay?
Tensions were mounting as Gibraltar prepared for their final match against the mighty United Arab Emirates. The team selection process for each match is an arduous process of lengthy discussions between coach Dave Barley and deputy coach Chris Gilligan.
I like to tackle when they come, when they like to build them up all the way around. I like to tackle quite late. You don't get sucked things and you just give it to the wing and you just go.
First, a little celebration of another 3 guys who made 10 caps today: Mike Millwood, Albert Lother and Joe Galloway.
Number 1, making his debut, David Junior Ross.
The 3 matches prior were meant to serve as a basis with which to build the final selection, taking into account injuries and the varied experience levels. Due to the exponential rise in rugby over the years, for the first time now, there is fierce competition for positions on the Gibraltar national team roster. The moment the travellers have been waiting for with bated breath has finally arrived. Who will get their respective international caps and have the opportunity to represent their home nation.
Quite excited actually, to be fair. It's been a great week, great tour. The games have been good, the boys have been excellent. I think they've gelled together nicely, so I think today would be a nice way to round it off. UAE are a very good side, you know, they've got some fantastic players. We know that they're going to play with intensity, they're going to just play with the offload game, they're going to be able to move the ball pretty quickly. They'll be physical around the breakdown. I just said to the guys, look, you know, just worry about our game and how we play and what we do and how we do it, and dictate the game to them. Set ourselves an objective every time we get in the 22, we come away with points. So I think it's pretty crucial that we come away with points every time we enter the 22, whether it's 3, 5 or 7, and just keep the scoreboard ticking over. The youth we've got on the side in the next 5-10 years, it's going to be quite scary to see where we are as Gibraltar Rugby, and for such a small place, it's going to be really exciting.
When we get back up in here after that 180, we know whether this moment right here was worth something, yeah? And the only thing that we can do now is make sure that when we get back in here, this moment was worth it. Who's gonna make a difference? When we need that hit, who's gonna make it?
Mark Waller received the kickoff and was hit hard but rode the tackle well. The clearing kick led to a charge from Volavola. Who chipped and chased, but it's recovered well by Gibraltar. After a good clearance, Volavola is on the ball again, running the wing, taken down by Chucky Cruz. The ball is held on and Gibraltar are awarded a penalty. The line-out was lost, but it was knocked on for a Gib scrum. A number of exchanges between the two sides ended with a Gibraltar penalty for the UAE not releasing the ball. Shortly after, Gibraltar were then penalised for an infringement at the Ruck, and the tap and go got the UAE into the visitors' 22. They were pressing hard in the far corner and received another penalty, which they kicked into touch. Following that, the play was stopped while Seb Triay is treated for an injury. The game restarted and the catch and drive maul went over the line for a try to the home side. After a successful conversion, UAE were leading by 7-0. After the restart, UAE conceded a scrum and then a penalty for not rolling away straight from the restart, and Gibraltar had another chance at goal. This time Chucky's kick was true and it's 7-3. A little later, and another penalty awarded to the UAE, this time for crossing, was kicked to the corner, and they again went for the driving maul. Gibraltar penalised for going around the side of the maul, UAE opting for a scrum 5 metres from the Gibraltar line. The scrum was hard fought and well contested, but a move from the backs that followed saw them cross the line for their second try. The kick from in front of the posts goes over and it's 14-3 to the home side. A number of great half steps from the likes of Chucky and Mati Isla saw Gibraltar break beyond the 10-metre line. A fast recycled ball led to another break from Chucky, then released Oscar Cruz, who carried hard with a number of defenders in tow over the line to score Gibraltar's first try of the evening.
Save that space on the outside, and then back again, show the middle. So wonderful running.
The conversion was good, and it's 14-10. The half-time whistle went shortly after.
It's those 1%ers, isn't it? Yeah? Those little small errors, like Will said, right at the go. Those 1%ers are real line outs, whatever. Okay? That's what's keeping them in the game. They're not enjoying this game, like I said. The intensity, the beat, the way we want to play, the way we go forwards, okay? We also talk about the X, so come a little bit deeper, okay?
Be patient and not rushed it. We kept the ball a couple of phases and we scored a try. So there's that one. When we've had a set piece, when we've had clean ball, we've just been patient and just pattern, just phases. We don't have to rush it.
Shortly after the half-time restart, Gibraltar defended some great attacks from the UAE backs, but some excellent cover tackles kept the home side out in the corner. The ball was sent wide, but the drift and cover tackle was effective, causing a knock-on and scrum to Gibraltar inside their own 22. Gibraltar's backline soon put together a number of moves of their own, but were penalised for holding on. UAE, with a chance for 3 points, opted for a kick to touch. They won the line-out that ensued and pressed towards the Gibraltar try line. Excellent defensive work saw the UAE held up over the line, scrum down to UAE on the 5-metre line. The scrum was driven over the line for a try to UAE, and the conversion was simple enough to see the score moving to 21-10. After the restart, Gibraltar made their way close to the line as the UAE were penalised. Gib opted for the line out just a few metres from the line, and Aidan Besley carried it well, leading Gibraltar a few phases closer to the UAE try line. Soon enough, the play came to an end with Seb Triai being tackled into touch. Soon, Gibraltar won a scrum and broke through the backs with great runs from Matti Isola, releasing Seb Triai down the wing. He was brought down and UAE were penalised for not releasing. Gibraltar kicked for the corner, but the line out near the 5-metre line was lost. UAE put in a number of phases before Volavola broke through the line, passed to his awaiting winger, who skimmed his opposite number to score between the posts. 28-10. Gibraltar get a scrum shortly after the restart, and they pressed with quick tap-and-go penalties into the UAE 22. UAE player was seen to infringe within the 5-metre line and is sent to the sin bin. Gibraltar opted for another scrum, which they pushed very close to the line. The carry thereafter was held up, and so yet another penalty in scrum awarded to Gib. This time they pressed from the base, and after another phase, Mike Millwood scores Gibraltar's second try. Chucky pulls the kick to the right. The score's now at 28-15. Shortly after, a line-out maul won by the UAE is held up by Gibraltar, and the game is called to an end, with the home side winning 28-15. After a grueling week of travelling, hard work in the heat, and some seriously tough competition, the group headed home having gained some invaluable experience, learned some hard lessons, and even made some friends.
A couple of little mistakes, whatever it may be, it might have gone our way. But you know what, boys? You've done yourselves very, very proud, okay? And you've done Gibraltar proud, your families, your friends, okay? Absolutely outstanding, okay? I just want to thank you personally for your effort you're putting on this tour, okay? You've been absolutely outstanding, fellas, okay? So from me, from the coaching staff, okay? Thank Chad, Will, the management, okay? For putting this trip on. Thank you to all the supporters and stuff for coming out as well. You've been absolutely amazing,
Coming out here, being able to challenge ourselves against you guys, testing ourselves against really good players is the most important thing we can do. We're limited at where we can play, but coming out and enjoying a game like this was fabulous for us. So on behalf of our players, thanks to you guys for doing everything you've done.
These international tours are just one of the many tasks taken on by passionate volunteers, pushing harder and harder to earn the opportunity to compete on the world stage by embarking on the ever-frustrating journey of gaining recognition by the large rugby organisations. We can only hope that in the near future, the blood, sweat and tears that the hard-working volunteers, players, crew and supporters have endured will eventually pay off, and Gibraltar's international rugby dreams can get even closer to fruition.